Hello from beautiful British Columbia. I hope you're well. I hope you're safe. It's been a long time, and I wanted to just touch base. If you're seeing this, it's because when I think of you as either being a good friend, a good client, and some of you are both. This is going to be an update that's mostly about myself and my family, a little bit about real estate. If you don't want to watch it, no hard feelings, just unsubscribe. I wanted to just reach out to everybody at least once. It's been 7 weeks that we've been here, and the reality of it is I've been trying to make a couple of calls a day, but the days are so short. It's almost 4 o'clock out here, and it's almost dark. The sun's going down. So I wanted to just say hi. Come for a walk with me. We got here 7 weeks ago. We had a 3.5 day drive out. Bought a van, loaded it up, as you know, and it was quite an adventure. We had 3.5 days later, we left Cobourg, and we were here. Unbelievable. And we landed in just, I can't believe how the gods have smiled on us. It's unbelievable. This is the house we're living in. It's the second home, a guest house on a 25-acre ranch, they call it. And we're at the top end of the Okanagan Valley on Hidden Lake Road. And Hidden Lake Road, this is the Shuswap River. The Shuswap River runs from Maple Lake westerly to the town of Enderby, which is the closest town to us, and then it turns north and runs into the Shuswap River, or Shuswap Lake network. There's a bunch of lakes up there apparently. We're about 15 miles from town, and we're not isolated. But we are remote. It's very private. The landowner, the man who owns the property, lives on the property as well. In fact, he lives on the other side of our house, is his house. And it's very private for us. There's the river. It's an old ancient river. It meanders around and around, and it's turned itself on itself. And that across the river is actually an island, and it's really pretty. They say in the springtime when the snow melts off the mountains and runs into Maple Lake, there's no dams or anything. It just comes rushing down this river, and that island actually ends up underwater in the springtime. So that'll be an interesting thing to see. We're at the top end of the Okanagan Valley. They say that the climate here is very much like it is in Cobourg. According to Google, it's almost the same temperature range, same amount of precipitation, a little more compressed. We get more. I guess we're going to get more snow in a shorter period of time, but the summer's going to be a little bit longer. The spring and the fall months, I suppose, are where we make the difference up. We came out here because our 3 kids are in BC. Living in British Columbia was never a plan, never a goal, never a dream. We love it out here, but we hadn't planned on living here. But our 3 kids are out here, and with the second wave coming and the possibility of a second lockdown, we thought we should make a quick move. And we did that, and we fell into this place, which was very fortunate. And we're really glad we did, because it seems we got out of Ontario before things got really hairy. Our kids aren't close by. Our daughter, Grace, is in Prince George, which is an 8-hour drive away. Our daughter, Natalie, was in Tofino, which is about a 14-hour drive away by the time you take in the ferry ride connections. Our son, Michael's in Vancouver, which is a 5-hour drive away. Since we got here, and it was not part of the plan, but since we got here, Grace in Prince George has been able to get a lateral transfer to a government position in Vernon, which is only half an hour away from us. And Natalie in Tofino's contract is up at the end of December, and she's decided to move to Kelowna. So she's moving to Kelowna the 1st of January. So by the first week of January, two of our kids, the 2 girls, will be within an hour and 10 minutes of where we live right now, that's a blessing. We really feel fortunate about that. Michael will be staying in Vancouver. He's a high school teacher there. He won't be moving. It's 5 hours away. We have to go through 2 mountain passes on the Coquihalla highways. But if we pick the right day, it could be a pretty safe trip and a nice trip into Vancouver. So, there's a spike out here at the moment. We're all hunkering down. We're not seeing each other at the moment. But hopefully when we get through all this, we're all going to be closer and it'll be fun. It'll just be wonderful. I'm hoping to touch base with everybody before the end of all, before too long, but it just isn't happening at the moment. Now, one of the projects I have for myself for the winter, the landlord here had an outbuilding right there, that silver building. The van that we bought to move out in, I'm converting it into a camper. So I'm in the middle of just designing that and planning that. We're getting started on it, and I'll be sharing that too a little bit more in the future too. Should be fun. Come springtime, we'll have a vehicle to explore this phenomenal province in, and drive back to Ontario to check on family and friends and property. Then drive back out again. It should be a lot of fun to do. As far as real estate goes, I am keeping my Ontario real estate license. I'm not going to be listing and selling property in Ontario. That's not what I'm suggesting at all. But if someone that's watching this wants to talk about their options and their choices, feel free to give me a call if you want to have a conversation. I'll be here for you. I've still got my finger in the pie out there. I'm still talking to realtors almost every day. I understand what's going on, and I know that an awful lot of my clientele, like me, are getting older and are getting ready to make some changes. If that's you and you want to talk about it, give me a call, 905-376-6355. I kept the same phone number. This place changes every day. It's never the same. You may not be able to see it very well, but over my shoulder in that mountain valley is the way, that's where the river goes, and up that way is the town of Enderby. And it's about 2,000 people. That's the closest town to us. That's where we get our mail. And it's just amazing. But no matter where we look, and again, you may not be able to see it because of the time of day, but there's the clouds and the primeval almost mist come down the river valley every morning, every night, sometimes in the afternoon. And no matter where you look, it's always a different view. It's just amazing. This is where I'm going to be renovating my van. It's in there now. It's a much smaller building than it looks like, or the van's a much bigger van than it looks like. This is part of my morning walk, and I've seen deer by the dozens out here. Saw coyotes. The coyotes were singing to us the other night. That's kind of an eerie sound if you've never heard it. We've been told to watch out for bears. We've been told that there's cougars sometimes. I don't think that's they're not as common as you might think, because again, we're not totally isolated here. It's not like we're way out in the middle of nowhere. There's houses close by, civilizations close by. Isn't this pretty? The other morning, and some of you may have seen the video. The other morning, in fact, I'll attach it to the end of this. I was just standing here doing my morning walking meditation, and 3 deer walked across that river and up onto the island. It's really amazing. We feel very blessed to be here. We're very fortunate. And I hope you're well. I hope you're safe. I wanted to say hi. Keep in touch. You see them there? 2. Here comes the third one. The deer just walked across the river onto the island.